Welcome to Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. We're going to talk about the term too few accounts currently paid as agreed. Now, this is a response if you are denied credit or if you are trying to get an installment loan or anytime that they're checking credit and it says too few accounts currently paid as the tremendous describing and fantastic. And you've been liking the videos. I couldn't ask for more. So let's have at least 5 likes this video. This is this is an authority on credit. I used to have an 830, then the targeted criminal dropped down drastic, and now I'm building, and I'll show you all of this. So let's get into your FICO score. Considers the number of accounts where you are paying your bills as in your case. This number is too low because you have very few accounts or because you've missed payments on some of your accounts. Here's what the Experian teams had to say on the topic. If not late payment is likely the result of a short credit history or a quote-unquote thin credit history, or both. Too few accounts? Experian seems to think so. I'm here to point out the thickness of accounts, with 6 being a pivotal number. Let's assume you have no delinquent or even a balance accounts. As long as you're not over 30% utilization rate, paid as a good isn't an issue. And then I was reminded that credit reports don't really know what to make of revolving accounts zeroed by the statement date. I'm going to make another video talking about utilization rates and the advice that I give you talking about to not pay any interest, zero out your accounts every month. I'm going to give you a hack in another video where you have the actual perfect utilization for the credit bureau, or at least for FICO. And it is not zero. That is not the perfect quote. If you have either authorized user AU accounts or open accounts that are considered inactive, that could put you in the too few. The operative word appears considered. What is a thin credit file? A thin credit file is one that doesn't have enough current information to calculate credits, but there are simply ways to fix. If you have a thin credit file, it means that there's not enough information in your credit report to generate a credit score. A thin credit file makes it difficult to get approved for credit, but can bulk up your file, make yourself more attractive to creditor. And this entire series that I'm doing is leading you down the path where eventually I want you to have, and that the pinnacle, climax of this over $1 million, and it's easier than just about everyone's credit file is thin at some. You are most likely to find yourself with a thin credit file if the credit world immigrated to avoid credit and cash or debit card. You had credit but stopped you. You are newly single. You had little credit. And 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and gather data about your credit and organize it in your credit. If you have recently gotten your first credit card or loan, solution to a thin file can be as waiting for the end of the bureaus. How to fatten up a thin credit file. Credit builder loan. If you are just getting started with credit, a credit builder loan may help. You're not typically required to have a credit history score to qualify, and monthly payments can be as little as $25. With this type of loan, you make all of the payments first, then receive the money at the minus interest and administration. Over the length of the loan, your payments are being reported to the 3 major credit bureaus. If you consistently pay on time, you'll bill your file as desirability to creditor. Credit unions typically offer credit builder loans, and so do some companies such as Self or not in Las Vegas. Secured credit card. Secured credit card can also help pad a thin file. Secure the card with a cash deposit, often starting out as low as $100, and then it works like a traditional credit card. The amount of your security deposit is typically the credit limit, but there are even some alternative unsecured cards that do not require a credit score for approval. Always verify that a card issuer will report your activity to the credit bureau, so you know you're applying for a card that will bill your file. Authorized user. Becoming an authorized user on someone else's credit account can also help. The best scenario is to ask a loved one who has a credit card with a long history of being paid on time, and that is lightly. The balance is no more than 30% of the credit limit, and less is better. You don't need to use the card as an authorized in order to reap the benefit. Getting a cosigner can also, but it's a big request because the cosigner is completely on the if you don't agree. One caution, before you apply for more than one credit product, ask if your application will involve a quote-unquote hard inquiry, because too many inquiries close together can make you look risky. It's best to space applications out about 6 months. Many credit builder products do not require a credit. Verify that before you. When will I have a credit? You can have a credit score even if you have a thin credit file. The credit score most lenders check to apply for credit is the FICO 8. To have a FICO score, you'll generally need the following: at least one credit account open for at least 6 months, activity reported to one or more credit bureaus during the past month. Vantage Score, FICO's main competitor, can generate a score much sooner. You can have a Vantage score in as little as 30 days after a new credit account is reported to the bureau. How many accounts? Credit expert John Alzheimer says you want at least 4 credit accounts because anything less than that will limit your score. He says it's best to have a mix of accounts, both credit cards, installment loan. So you want credit cards, car loan, home loan, personal loan, right? If you're sole proprietor and just running off of your credit. Business credit is completely different and does not act like personal credit. So I will cover that in the video. Thank you all for watching and have a good night. Hi, and if you like the video right now, UFO will in your backyard. Check it out.